Hey guys, it's Levi over with Cross World TCG, new YouTube channel, starting up. My friends over here in Chico, California. My dog's barking in the background. This is my deck profile for my 33rd position, the Bubble Out, and over in San Jose, largest tournament. What makes my deck profile is going to be a little different is I went to the San Jose tournament not with a deck list for the format. The sideboard was, but really I went in there with a deck that I was practicing with all post-meta errata, and I was super comfortable with it. So I used to play Veggies, Mecha Veggies, and I was just more comfortable with this deck list, so I said, you know, I'm going to mess with the sideboard and see how I do. I went X and 2, very confident with the deck. Bubbled out at 33rd. Shame it wasn't top 64. I was really proud of this list. I got to give a shout out for the idea of the deck came from Keegan Wood. I saw a deck list of his, took the idea, kind of saw how he went with it as a mono green SS3 variant. Really liked the idea. I didn't even think about doing a mono green deck with a blue leader. Ran with it, took it in a different direction than he had, similar, but here's kind of what I turned out with. The key focus of this deck, of course, is the salad line. I don't really have to go much into here specifics. We all know what it does. Very powerful. Very. It's gonna be the definition of the new meta with Cell. These are very powerful cards. They're gonna continue to be powerful cards. We're gonna see a lot of them in the next meta, just like we saw them in this meta. The other key pieces of this deck being a green list, of course, was Trunks. Seeing as how I'm running the salad pieces, they're all Saiyans. So, of course, I'm going to be running the Trunks, which can just help me fetch Saiyans by looking at the top 2 of my deck. Key note of this card, though, is you look at the top up to 2. So, with the ruling that they made is you can stop at any time during the search. So, you can look at the top card, and if it's a Kaba, I can reveal it, put it in my hand, don't even have to look at the next one. Or if I look at it, it's an extra card, and I'm like, you know what? I don't need this extra card anyways. I'm going to look at the next card and see if I get lucky. Look at the next card, Saiyan, then I can put that card in my hand and put the extra card in the graveyard. You choose when to stop. Very key ruling there. A lot of people didn't know that down there in San Jose. A lot of people, of course, did, though, too. Of course, as another green, just kind of staple card is Draku. Very basic, just kind of draws you a card, kind of go from there. Saiyan, of course. Next key piece here is Goten. Goten is a very good card. It's in my main deck for a reason. I expected in San Jose to see a lot of Veggie decks. Being as in California, when me and my friends would go to other tournaments here, we saw a lot of Mecha Veggies, so we thought there was going to be a lot. I ended up playing more ape decks in the day. I played 4 different ape decks. So, of course, I was setting it out in that matchup. But very good card. Takes out Kabas. You could swing in, combo with it to kill a Kaba before they can Shugesh KO you. Very key there. As we're continuing the green deck now, we're going to go into another line that I was kind of playing. Of course, was the Brawly line. I was only playing 2 of the 3-drop Brawlies. The new one comes in, my opponents choose a card, blow it up. Very key there. It has a neat mechanic where it makes evolving 2 green less. That's key in there. So if I wanted to, I could play this Broly for 3 onto the other one. Did it a couple times, but the thing about with the SS3, of course, he untaps 3 at end of turn. So really, I didn't have any problem. The reason I'm playing more of the 6-drop than the 3-drop is I didn't really care about the evolving. I'd play it for 6 anyways, make my opponent discard 2 at random, then untap 3 energy and go about my merry way because it wasn't really a big deal to me. Next card I was playing, which was very good in this format, it gets apes before they got King Vegeta down, was Vegeta himself. King Vegeta's son. Before the King Vegeta ape came out and gave everything barrier, I could combo him in, counter him in, he comes in at the counter phase and he just blows something up 4 or less. Very good against apes before they got King Vegeta down for barrier. Also good against Jiren, so if anybody was running Jiren, it's really good against him. Next format, it's also going to still be prevalent because apes are still going to be around, so before they get out the big ape, you can still threaten the other apes with this card. This card kills Jiren. After it it'll be like, oh, here's 30,000 coming at you, and you're like, well, you're dead anyways. Like, no harm, no foul. Another Vegeta that I was running was Dauntless Spirit, Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta. This was a tech card I didn't see anyone else running but me. I ran with this card, not for the EX Evolve, but because of a ruling made before San Jose. They made a new ruling into the game for this card, specifically for this card, which is after the defending person's combo step, there is now a step where the winner is declared and abilities will trigger. This is key for this card because he has double strike, but whenever he wins the battle, and is going to go deal damage to your opponent, you can discard a card to give him critical, which means both, like originally people were fighting with this not knowing what was going to happen. Is one damage going to be critical, the other's regular? With the new ruling, both damage is critical. So this was really key piece. It's a 20,000 double strike critical hitter if I discard a card. Very powerful against apes. My opponents were blocking it, and then if they wanted to live, they'd have to combo out of it because it was 20,000. I didn't have to combo to threaten an ape. Very key there. You notice with a lot of my cards in my deck, a lot of them are 20,000 or up in power level, just so I don't have to worry about them. Like, I don't have to combo up to kill an ape. It was more of, you got to combo out of it if you want to live. Another big green piece that I was playing, of course, which you guys are all going to remember from Starter Queue, was Gotenks. I don't really have to much into them. 5-drop, draws you a card when you play him, untaps 2 energy. The thing that makes Gotenks really good is I would actually discard him a lot of the time if he was in my opening hand with SS3's ability. And the reason I did this, if it just happened to be in my opening hand, is because I was playing a card called To Save a Hopeful Future, which is very nifty because it lets you play a 5-drop green card, 5 or less energy costs from your graveyard. And with Gotenks' ability not having to be with an Evolve trigger, but with just playing him with 25k double strike, I could play him on turn 3 in Son Goku deck for 4 mana, play him out, he'll untap 2 and I'll draw a card, and I got 2 more mana. I could then play Kaba after it or something. Really good card in that effect, where that very nice. It came in handy. I really like this card. I didn't see anybody else running it again. I was very happy with it in my deck. It's just a 2-of. It doesn't need to go up, doesn't need to go down. I just need to see it once, and 2 enables me to see it once about every game. Very good, very clutch. Came in handy in a lot of my sideboard matchups too. I can go into that later if I remember. Going into more of my extra cards though, of course, I've got 4 negate attacks, the full power energy, once again leaning towards more to the green, because as you saw, a lot of my stuff costs double green, triple green, quadruple green. I'm really laying on the green, which is why it was kind of a mono green variant of this deck. Very good card. You can negate an attack, blow up a Kaba. 1-drop Kaba. Wish it was 2 or less. That'd be great. But it was just very handy because you really needed 4 negates. 4 negates is just really good. You're going to continue to need them, especially with a lot of hyper-aggressive decks. It just really saved your bacon. I was really happy with the card. Of course, though, I can't play pure green with Goku or I wouldn't get any super combos. So I was playing 4 super combos of Piccolo. I picked these over the new one because this is a guaranteed draw every time, and I was more very defensive in my playstyle with my deck, which is not what you'd expect. I was dropping Broly, passing turn. I wasn't swinging. Dropping Gotenks, passing turn, wasn't swinging. I built up this massive board, and then would only start swinging with my criticals like Kale or Vegeta, to just control my opponent down until they were like 4 or less life, and knew I could kill them, and then I'd have all these 30k, 25k, 20k double strikers that would just start swinging in that are threatening lethal, and then they just can't stop it all. They might be able to buy some turns with Nimbus, but it was just really hard for my opponents to deal with. Of course, then I was also playing 3 free Hans just to kind of fill out the rest of the deck. It also gave me sideboard options for other non-green cards. So if I wanted to sideboard in non-green cards, I'd just take out free Han, replace it with those cards. Very key, especially because now we'll go into my sideboard, which was the deck of this, like, that is geared towards Mecha. I haven't made adjustments yet for the new deck. May end up doing another deck tech video just with the side tech for this deck, with a link, obviously, to this video. So my sideboard options, I left the King Vegetas, which was a side deck option before going into the Mecha, just because it's good against Jiren. I figured in case there are some red decks running it, because Jiren's an ape killer, I'd keep 2 of it in the sideboard. Very good card. Another sideboard option that I brought in against both, not only just apes, but I also brought this in. It was mainly for GT. I ended up bringing it against apes too. With Speedy Attack, Speedy Strides deck. Can't use its second effect, obviously. It's just another counter attack. Very clutch against GT because you need to stall. You need to survive their all-in turn or you're going to die. But other than that, my other sideboard card was Haru. Very powerful card. Don't know how this card got printed. It might not seem overwhelming because the meta was currently flooded with Mecha Frieza, which, of course, we all know is stupid. But this card is just beyond stupid. Untaps 4 energy just for playing it if your opponent's playing green or yellow. It has critical, which is super powerful. Critical is the best mechanic in the game. And this card has it built in, and it untaps 4 energy. It's redonkulous. Like this card a lot, but it is very powerful. If you're playing green or yellow, this card it's just going to wreck you. So Android chains, Android is unfortunately going to be weak to this card. Cell has a chance now that has Mira. Cell chain can be used in Mira. We're going to be seeing that. So it's not going to be as prevalent there. Next sideboard card. That was my phone going off. Sorry. I should have silenced that. Next sideboard tech that I had, of course, was 16. Very powerful card against Mecha Apes. It restands itself. Most of my opponents, I bring it in game 2. Remember, I played Apes 4 times. Day 1. And I only lost to 1 Apes player. I also lost to a Mecha Veggies player. Those were my 2 losses. But against all the other Mecha Apes players, it was really powerful because I would bring it in, game 2, they'd swing, I'd block her with it, they'd be like, okay, whatever, no combo. And then I'd super combo them up to 25, kill the ape and untap, and then ever since then in both game 2, and if we happen to go to game 3, my opponents would then just would just combo like crazy into 16. Which was just like, okay, because I remember one of my matches, this guy comboed up to 45,000 against 16 because I had a bunch of cards in hand. He wanted it dead. And then I let it die, and then I immediately casted to save a hopeful future and just brought him right back. And my opponent was just like done at that point. Super mad. It was a clutch moment. My last sideboard card, Scientist Fu. Very powerful card. We are going to see a lot of this card. 1 mana, you just have to exile, have 7 cards in your graveyard. Draws 2 cards, so Pot of Greeds, is all Hex Yugi players know. And it has 25,000 Double Strike, which Double Strike is very relevant. It's because it is very lethal. Double Strike is powerful. They're at 2 life. You're swinging lethal now. They don't have a lot of options but to combo out of it or just die. They don't get to draw that extra 1 life. But that's pretty much the deck. That's the side deck. Once again, shout out to Keegan for the idea for Mono Green. I love the idea. I'm going to be playing this deck in the next meta. And I'm going to be altering it, see with the sideboard at least, to see what I'm going to be playing. I'm expecting a lot of variant forms of Veggies. Dr. Mew is now going to see a lot of prevalence. There was 1 Mew player there, obviously, who did well. A lot of Mew decks are now going to start popping up. Pan is going to start popping up. So just got to kind of prepare what's going to happen in the next meta and see what happens. But other than that, this was my deck profile. We are going to be doing, if you wanted to stick around on our channel, if you're ever interested in watching matches, we're going to be starting uploading some. So if you're interested in watching some of our matches from our local meta here in Chico, California, where Joey also 6th place after day 1 down in San Jose tournament. He's also a local here. If you want to see some matches of us being played, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. We'll be uploading some soon. Other than that, if you like the deck profile, go ahead and give it a like. But other than that, thank you once again, guys, and have a great day.